time to hunt the hunter, Sarazi. We quarry, no glory. You have something to say, dull claws. Let's make it quick. You don't get muscles like these by standing around chewing the fat with outsiders. What, did you just wander up here like a lost mountain goat? This is Predator Mesa, the Hunter's Highland. Really? Nothing? Zisvo. Hunters come here to test their claws against savage beasts. A trial of strength and cunning. But mostly strength. Ha! Compared to vigorous Sarazi, you are a dry twig. This calls for a contest. Hunting beasts is one thing. Hunting hunters, though, that is a real test. 3 savage gadget hunt any person who enters the mesa. Whoever kills them all first, wins. Sarazi will give you a head start. This is sporting, yes? You'll see 3 prowling gadget on the mesa. Unless they see you first. Ha! There's a nesting griffin up there also. Quillmane. If you really want to impress me, kill him too. I will tell you what my uncle told me. Long ago, a tribe of hunters settled here on the mesa and built a great temple to the hungry cat, Hersin. But their love of chasing and bloodshed drove them to hunt each other to death. Savage beasts started migrating here, settling around the temple. Eventually, the temple fell apart, and the wilderness took the whole mesa back. Something about this place brings out the hunter in every gadget. Like sugar and raw meat, yes? Having second thoughts already? Ha! It's not too late to slink away. In the face of these muscles and good looks, no one would blame you. Bah! That's the problem with you outsiders. No sense of humor. I joke. Except the part about the muscles and the good looks. That part is solemn truth. 3 hunters camp on the mesa. Zahalar, Kuzo, and Tahuda. Killers, all. Yes, indeed. Beasts, people, it's all the same on Predator Mesa. Anything with a pulse is fair game. These 3 live on the mesa year-round, hunting animals and each other. Now we hunt them all. Who am I? I'm Sarazi, strongest, swiftest, and slickest Khajiit hunter in northern elsewhere. Huh! Sarazi is still cementing his reputation. Give it time. Ha! Come to your senses, eh? Don't worry, Sarazi won't tell anyone that you ran away. Predator Mace is not for everyone. Now, watch a true hunter Wait, is that blood on your hands? Where did all this blood come from? Kra! I never should have given you that head start. Now what will Sarazi hunt? Birds and chipmunks? Well, a wager is a wager, yes? Here, spend it on some decent food, Walker. Bulging muscles and a shiny coat start at the dinner table. Farewell.
You'll want to find another place to rest.
I'm gonna show off a little.
Watch your step in the stitches.
We're dangerous, huh?
You'll want to find another place to rest your feet, stranger. These stitches are about to burst. It won't be much longer before the whole place unravels, as it were. There's a new Khajiit in charge, Kazda, and he enjoys throwing his weight around. Between this one and you, most in the stitches find Kazda's leadership lacking, but none will stand up to him. Though this one heard rumors Tasnasi is back. No friend of Kazda's, this one can tell you. She's recruiting for a job, or so the rumors say. This one doubts she'll have much luck convincing someone local to make an enemy of Kazda. But someone passing through. Last I heard, Tasnasi was camped on the north rim of the scar, but this one doubts she'll stick around for long. The moment Kazda catches wind of her, he'll have her throat slit. It's the closest thing to a settlement out here. Imagine a river hold on the edge of a cliff, painted with rum and horse dung. Then invite every outlaw, bandit, and exile to live there. That's the stitches. You didn't hear this from me, but he's a thug who thinks he's a king. Sits in Merville Keep, counting coin and letting his thugs run the stitches into the ground. Well, deeper into the ground. A thief who got run out of town not long after Kazda took over. He's the only one worth robbing in the stitches, so my gold's on her job involving his ill-gotten gains. Gutsy to cross Kazda, but he already wants her dead. What she got to lose?
Tasnazi does not know you. That's good. She knows everyone in the stitches. Those who aren't in Kazda's pocket, she can count on one paw. This one has a job for someone who'd rather pick it. An unknown face like yours is just what she needs. Kazda, the dung-eater that runs the Stitches, has a hoard of gold beneath Merville Keep. Taznazi plans to make it hers. Ours. If you're interested, we need to move soon. The Stitches gets worse by the day. Kazda may leave, and his coin with him. To take from Kazda is no crime. His predecessor, Dashing the Salzo, amassed the coin. Kazda only wallows in it, like a pig in its filth. A cruel, stupid pig. Now he lets the Stitches shuffle to ruin. This is his just punishment. We also need Taznazi's old crew, Vol, Sarin, and Nazdar. Vol just did a job for Jubani. He'll be at her junk shop. Sarin's likely at the Goiter's Gulp, and Nazdar caterwauling somewhere. We'll meet in the bowl at the bottom of the scar. The lowest. Kazda clawed his way to the top of the Stitches with treachery and fear. The Stitches hasn't known law, but under Dashing the Salzo, it knew relative peace, common purpose. Now it falls into anarchy. Kazda won't stop it, he creates it. The leader of the Stitches, before Kazda. He's dead and gone. All you need to know is, what was his is now Kazda's, soon to be ours. Who do you want to know about? Best damn mechanist this side of Nibbin Bay. Not a common trait for a wood elf, this one knows, but it is true. Kazda's stronghold uses strange mechanisms to keep uninvited visitors out. Voles are passed through them. Maybe not the most distinguished mage and elsewhere, but the best Taznazi is likely to get in the Stitches. She spends more time with her head in a bottle than a book. But once she's dried out, she'll be invaluable for reaching the vaults unnoticed. The old adept was something back in his day. Taznazi heard he could break a boulder with his little claw. He doesn't fight much anymore, but he still has some moves. This one has seen them personally. He flows like water and is as silent as wind. Keep it quick. There's a lot to be done before we relieve Kazda of his riches. A den of outlaws in the shape of a town. There's not much to tell. What do you want to know? The facade of a legitimate business for Jubani Defense. Her gang loots and scavenges items all over the scar. She has a Bandari's knack for selling junk for far more than it's worth. What passes for a tavern in the Stitches. The Averno twins run a money-lending and pawn operation out of it. Don't let them sweet-talk you into any favors. They may seem harmless, but everything has a price with those two, and everyone pays. The sewer beneath Merville Keep. We'll be able to gather there without attracting any unwanted attention, and it'll become clear why once you arrive. Thoroughness is an uncommon virtue in the Stitches. Go on and ask.
Ropes off of me. Jubani and I had a deal. I delivered.
True. But why keep paying when we can just make you do it for free? Now get inside.
A chance to sneak around? You're spoiling me.
Hey, you're not one of Jew Bonnie's thugs. Can you get me out of here? I'm getting out of here. Catch up to me so I can thank you properly. Thanks for your help back there. Jew Bonnie and her thugs are a bunch of hammers that think everything is a nail. Geniuses included. Altruism isn't a thing in the stitches. So what do you want? Need a lock picked? Something repaired? Tarsnessy, huh? That's funny. I was just thinking about her recently, seeing what's gone on around this dump. How it's gotten, dumpier than usual. But she's pulling together a job. I swore that Kazda ran her out of town when he took over. Last time I ran my mouth, Jew Bonnie sent her unexpectedly handsome thugs after me. I'm not spilling any more secrets. But it's nice to know Tosnessy's still around. She really loves this place after all. Even after everything that's happened to her. Well, Jew Bonnie's sure to notice I'm missing. Joining up with a crew seems like a good way to keep my fingers unbroken. So sure, whatever Tosnessy's playing at, I'm in. The bowel. Well, that's ironic. I'll head there after I get more tools and find another pair of small clothes. Well, most don't. And to be fair, I wasn't always the brilliant tinkerer I am today. I don't know what caused the change, honestly. I think eating that soul gem had something to do with it. Well, I didn't just pluck one up and eat it. I was scouting for the Dominion way north. Some ruin called Sardathal. Was running from some guards when I fell into his shaft. And fell. And fell. It was a long fall. Caught a ledge at the last minute. Broke my fall. And my fingers. Real mess. Anyway, I found myself in this strange cavern. Huge. Had dwarven ruins. Biggest I've ever seen inside of it. More stone and metal than I could imagine. Not so much food. Not quite. I finally managed to find a charis. A big bug. Tastes awful, don't recommend it, but I ate like my life depended on it. I mean, it did. I half remember a glowing stone going in my mouth. Swallowed it whole before I even realised. More like indigestion, but also this indescribable urge to fiddle with the ruins. Well, I guess I'd call it curiosity. But anyway, I fixed an elevator like it was second nature and got back home. Then I got discharged on account of my weak hand. Jew Bonnie runs the biggest salvage operation in the Stitches, and she knows she gets paid more if the salvage is in pure junk. When a crew found stuff that wasn't busted up, I fixed it. For pay. 'Cause that happened. He took over the Stitches and didn't care if people broke oaths, contracts, or ribs. Jew Bonnie saw a chance to get more labour for free. Just had to flex a little muscle. Yeah, don't let my rippling physique fool you. I'm, not much in a fight. That Kazda ran her out of town? Or tried to, I guess. It's not any secret. He may be a rancid pile of cat vomit, but at least it's his town now. He does what he wants. Bad blood. Truth told, Tosnacy would have been charged after dashing to Salzo died, if things hadn't gone down the way they did. It's not my place to say anything more than that.
What?
Was it the moons? Ah, my fur! What was in this bucket? Whatever your death wish is, it's granted! Oh, my head. Just tell me what you're doing here before I turn your heart into a tomato. Oh, really? Taznas is still kicking around? A little good news to go around with all this bad. Like a fly in vine. Be careful of the vine, by the way. There's flies in it. I didn't say that. Well, what I mean is that I'd like to, but if Taznasi wants me for my magical skill, I have some bad news. My focus is gone. I mean my other focus. My arcane focus. A bubble to focus magica. I'm useless without it. I may have planned it. To Lulius and Scipio never know. I'd give the gold back, but Kazda's really gouging the price of a bottle these days. Even the swill in this flop house. The Avernos are inside. Get my focus back, and I'll owe you. Lulius and Scipion, they sit in the goitered cups like they own the place. Well, they do technically own it, but that's not the point. Ever since Kazda took over, the twins have doubled everyone's rent and the amount of water in the drinks. Because Kazda gets a nice kickback from all the money they bring in. And for good or ill, well, actually just ill. Kazda's in charge here, so he has the muscle. So the rest of us sit quietly and pay twice as much to get half as drunk. Ugh, well, sometimes my power gets a little out of control. The Mages Guild was supposed to help me master it, but they take a dim view of people breaking curfew and getting drunk on kitchen duty, and throwing up in the soup. When I need to cast a spell, I channel my magicka through the focus. It helps me weave everything together. Without it, my spells come out like tangled yarn, and the results are, well, unpredictable.
New face in the stitches, then? I love new faces. I can front you a little money in exchange for... well, we can talk terms over wine. To what do my brother and I owe the pleasure? Focus. Looked like a collar to me. Pity it doesn't fit any of our pets. Don't call it such around Serene. Nearly clawed poor Skip-Ion's nose off over it. It's such a good nose, too. Reminds me of Mother. Anyway, price is set. Will you pay it? Well, Skip-Ion called me a fool for taking the cat's little trinket, but here I am turning a tidy profit. I'll make sure he never hears the end of it. The bauble's in a jewelry box on the other side of the barn. Help yourself.
Blah, can't get the taste out of my mouth. It's awful. Good, Kazda's made the stitches unpalatable, like that swill he's got the tavern pouring. I'm ready to get out, but I wouldn't mind batting Kazda's tail along the way. I'm sure Taznasi feels the same. I need a moment or two. Look, I'll meet you at the bowl once the world stops spinning. Just a mage looking for something at the bottom of a bottle. I don't really know, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if I ever knew. Look, you seem halfway decent, so don't stick your muzzle too far in, alright? Taznazi's got her own business, and I know too much about it already. I don't drink just because I like the flavor of the tavern's bilge. I'm hazy on the details. To be honest, I'm hazy on a lot of things these days. But I know Taznazi can't show her face in the stitches. And it's not just Kazda that'd like to see her dead. You've seen the type of people who call the stitches home. Thieves, smugglers, deserters. Nobody keen on laws. Of the few rules we have, she broke the one you don't break. Murder. I've said more than I should have already. It's in the past. Taznasi had her reasons. She always has her reasons, not that I ever got to hear them. She's not going to stab you in the back if that's what's worrying you. Keep your mind on the job.
Said Nalitha the avuncular, even in somber times must the wayfarer be offered greetings. Nazdar greets you, wayfarer, though his times are somber indeed. What brings you to this one? Hotaza the corpulent often said, the forgetting of friends is a grievous wrong. Wise words. Tasnasi has not visited him in some time, but this one has not forgotten her. So believe Nazdar when he regretfully declines her invitation. This one has lost a prized possession, a lute gifted by a dear, departed friend. It has buoyed Nazdar's soul for so long, he sinks without it. Weighed down as such, he cannot be the fleet walker Tasnasi needs him to be. Truly? This one was practicing his lute in the canyon below, but his playing attracted irascible beasts. He was forced to leave it behind as he scrambled up the cliffs. A saint. He once led the stitches, not to glory perhaps, but away from shame. Even saints do not live forever, nor did he. But as Balant the Canonical said, the dead recalled in good memories are the true saints of our lives. The truth, however, noxious is sweeter than rose blossom, to quote the venerable Bate. Nasdar plays, but not well. The others throw things at him when he practices, so he plays where he can be alone.
That bag either has something valuable, something useless, or a body part inside it. One time, I reached into a sack like that and found a bunch of live frogs. That was a strange day.
Watch me go.
As Zubacha the Hermit said to Intasi after returning from his grand pilgrimage, "Hello. This one is cheered to see you without the blemishes of harm." As often said by Polu the Overstating, this is worthy of celebration. You have done this one a great turn. In the dark days the Stitches find themselves in, it is good to hold a memory of brighter times. Your kindness reminds Nasdar of the love dashing Tasalto had for the Stitches in life. This one recalls many joys in the company of Tasnazi and the others. He would like to feel them again. Nasdar will go where Tasnazi bids. Nasdar knows you see more ribs than muscles on him. This is true, but he once was a brother of the Whispering Claw, so dedicated to that life he was, that he took a vow of silence. You have read the works of Vekla the Ephemeral. Nasdar is glad to know a fellow student. Yes, Nasdar was silent for 19 years, but one night in moonlight, he heard through his cell a song. A simple tune, but captivating. Some peasant tune hummed by a swineherd going home, but a Jarasti moonsinger said, "Beauty is not in the art, but in what it instills." In that moment, Nasdar knew he must sing, so he broke his vow and left the adeptorium to make music. You can make art for others, said Erka of the Bard College, or for yourself. Nasdar knows he is not good enough to make art for others, but dashing the Salzo always encouraged Nasdar to make art for himself. Nasdar will never forget that. A life of decades cannot be reckoned in minutes, so the blind poet has taught us. But Nasdar will do his best. The Stitches was once like it is today, a refuse pit of the spirit, home of vice, self-interest, and the vain depravities of life. The Salzo came to the gangs of the Stitches and showed them a common foe, Euraxia's armies. We harried them, stole from them, bled them dry, and we formed bonds. To quote Aidino the Aphoric, the greatest gift the indolent can receive is purpose. His death did not rip those bonds apart, but without the Salzo's care in keeping them tight-knit, they are unraveling nonetheless, and Kazda is pulling at the threads. But some, like Nasdar, keep the Salzo's memory and his hope.